you're listening to the Stiff Podcast.
Lick my balls and suck my ass. This is Stiff Podcast. This is Alan from the Stiff Archives Oddcast. We're here with Nick Doepp. A little bit of controversy surrounding your wrestling career at this point. You have made it very public that you're leaving the W.W.A.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
That's very true. No longer with that company anymore.
Okay, and you wrestled your last match over the weekend, is that correct?
Yeah, on Saturday I had my last match.
Okay. Well, the first question I'll ask you, and then we'll get into the details, is do you ever think that the public will ever take a professional wrestler and all of its injuries and road work seriously?
Honestly, the professional wrestling business doesn't really get the respect it honestly deserves. Because just in the public eye, I've got a few bruises and wounds all over me. And I came home this is my mom's birthday weekend. I came home to spend time with her, and my sister, who's 11 years old, came up to me, and my chest was just ravished from chops. And I had a really stiff match with Shane Mercer and Lennox North down in Hillsview, Kentucky. And she said, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I said, "I'm a wrestler, Kylie." And she's like, "Yeah, but wrestling's fake." And I'm like,
Right.
And this is someone I lived with for like a long time. And it's just society's views. It's just they're all very, very. They just don't know.
Right.
And it's hard to get mad at people who just don't know, but it really ticks me off that professional wrestling doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the former valet, Don Marie, has started a foundation for professional wrestlers that have suffered major injuries. It's more like an insurance, charity, but she's actually trying to do something for that. Because Jesse Ventura also has made mention on many times that an insurance policy, a proper one for pro wrestlers, hasn't been taken seriously. And I do feel, my first impression of you wrestled with the injury in Livermore.
It was
right?
at Fandemonium 2014.
Right. And that happens all the time. And I think it's a little fucked up, really, that it's not taken seriously. So how do you confront people that, questioned your legitimacy in this sport?
Honestly, if anybody wants to try my legitimacy, I'll just, jump up, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I'll go down fighting for professional wrestling because, honestly, that's the only thing I can actually say that I am good at. And I'm not the best at, or close to the best, but I'm pretty good at it, and I respect it so much, and it's done so much for me. And if anybody, tries to insult just the legitimacy of it, it really ticks me off. And if anybody wants to step up, I'll gladly show them what a professional wrestler is made of.
A lot of people get the misconception that, to be honest, a lot of people understand the concept of pro wrestling and the booking and all that jazz. And they assume just because some of the storylines are fabricated that the injuries, the blood, and all this stuff is not legitimate. And that blows my mind from a consumer standpoint. He's been watching this shit for 20 plus years now. And I'm like, that's a real cut. When someone's bleeding, there's not a special effects guy that comes out there and, you know what I'm saying? It's like you guys really go after each other when need be. And also, you wrestle with injury, as many others do. The money. How do you feel about the money situation versus the injury?
Well, I didn't have injury. What you're speaking of is Fandemonium 2014. A week before that, against a wrestler named Kaji Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Caltrog been one of my best friends. I had a killer match with him. He says it's one of his favorite matches of all time. I hate the match because at the end of the match I did a suicide dive and fractured my foot.
Right.
The number one thing you want to do is not get hurt in professional wrestling, and that's what happened. But
Right.
anyway, I ended up doing that, and I was on the main event show the very next week, 7 days from then, in my hometown of Livingston.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't walk that day. I could not walk. It was horrible. I went to the doctor. Doctor didn't say it was broke, and I went and got a second opinion, and one of the doctors did say it was. So I kind of went to the other doctor who said it wasn't broke, or my license wouldn't get suspended.
Right.
Right.
So I could wrestle that match. And what was the question? I was sort of rambling.
Oh, let's talk about the injuries and the money situation that goes along with being injured.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because I know.
It will definitely hurt you because there's no insurance or anything.
Yes.
Wrestling's viewed as independent contractors,
Right.
so there's no real insurance. But everyone knows it when they
Get into it. Right. Yeah.
so.
So I always figured that, because, me and Casey and the similarity and why we totally relate to you guys so much is we've all been through a lot of shit to get our art more or less across. Like, we would drive to Nashville with only so much money to eat on and gas money.
And play for nothing, basically.
And literally, we wouldn't get paid, I think the most money we've made playing music was roughly $50 split amongst like 5 people. And does that tend to wear on your head a little bit after a while, or is that something you just let go and just enjoy?
I try to take everything day by day because it does. It sucks when you're traveling all this way, and the overall goal is to make money,
Right.
and to live off of what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that's the goal. And it sucks because I'm friends with all these people, but wrestlers way better than me, like completely better. Like Shane Mercer, Reed Bentley, Superstar Ray Waddell. All these guys are phenomenal, absolutely great, and I'm kind of in the same boat with them as far as making a living with wrestling. We all have real jobs. We have to go.
Well, you're cutting out there.
We're
man.
losing service.
Oh
Oh,
Okay, I can hear you.
I can hear you now. What was the last part? Okay, you got to say the last part again.
no. Okay. Well, we have to go out in public and sort of just face these people. It was the worst thing ever. I was talking to Reed Bentley about this. Is say you're a pizza delivery guy and you're a hometown hero. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You go to someone's door and you deliver their pizza, but that's also the person that's watching you wrestle on Saturday. And it to be this larger than life. It kind of gets to you. It's like, but it also, to me, it motivates me to become that person and become that 1 in a million guy who actually makes it. It really just gets me to get up early in the morning and hit the gym and just train and work on the promos and stuff like that.
Right. Let's see. So, W.W.A. has been kind to you over the years and all this stuff, but you decided to branch out. What do you plan on doing now, since you already established yourself locally throughout the Tri-County area, as far as I know, and Tri-State, perhaps? Andrew Hunter gave you a fantastic rub the last 2 times we talked to him. So where do what now?
Did he put me over?
Yes,
Oh
he did.
yeah, put you over pretty hard, man. Because I keep talking about.
He's a piece of shit. He's great.
Yeah, he did. He put you over on the actually the first time, and I won't say both times.
Yeah, every time we done it, he always had great. He said he had the best matches with you.
Yeah.
And in W.W.A. and okay, so what's going on with that? What's the situation? Just explain it. What is a W.W.A. situation?
The W.W.A situation is this. At the beginning of this year, I am moving to Louisville.
Okay.
To be with my girl who went to college up there. And she's going to be a neonatal nurse, and she's going to be up there for me.
Okay.
And when you're a wrestler in the WWA, it isn't one of these companies where you come in, you wrestle your match, you get paid, you go home. It's
Right.
one of those companies where you show up, you set up, and you were there for that, and you tear down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you help with every single thing because it's a brotherhood.
Right.
And I'm the kind of person that if I'm going to be a part of a brotherhood, I'm not going to because I won't realistically be able to when I live in Louisville and then talking about trying to run weekly shows and like every 2 weeks, and I can't do that. It's the situation.
With that kind, he's saying with that kind of situation, it kind of spreads you thin. You can't be in Louisville, then going back to. Yeah, I got you.
And this is all sort of in front of the same people and stuff like that. And I really want to branch out, and that's where actually the core is. But my woman going to Louisville was kind of the push I needed to sort of branch out. And man, class act by those guys. They sent me out. And they didn't have to do it. They all came out and they paid their respect to me. And they gave me my start in wrestling. Chris Waddell is my fucking hero. I'm not religious, but damn, he's the closest thing I have to Jesus. I go to that man. Wrestling advice, everything. Him and Ray, they're very great people.
Well, that's good, man. That you can give credit where it's due, and there's no animosity or beef. You know, that's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you look at a company like Extreme Championship Wrestling. You know, formerly Eastern Championship Wrestling from the NWA, and when they branched out from their little independent thing and turned into this worldwide thing, there was towards the end, like the entire roster was, you know, getting kind of
Disgruntled, I guess.
Disgruntled because the money wasn't there. Do you think that what Vince McMahon has ended up doing to the business from a public standpoint, does it affect the overall, you know, aura that, you know, you're a pro wrestler, this is what you do? Do you think that affects all of it?
Vince McMahon buying all the territories and turning this into the global thing that it's become, it's probably the worst thing for, I think, young workers outside of fucking Florida.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere to work. I mean, guys like fucking Mick Foley and Stone Cold, those guys, because they're keeping the territory, and they were wrestling about 10 years before they even got signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
WWA, and when they got there, they knew exactly what they were doing. But now, people are getting trained at the WWE Performance Center, and then going in straight to, you know, NXT and then onto the main roster. They're not really getting the tricks of the trade, and it's not really wrestling anymore. They're training them the WWE style.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only thing that you need up there, but they're not really getting the whole
Picture.
wrestling experience.
Yeah.
And, it sucks.
Because the thing is, man, wrestling is a heritage. It's not like, I mean, you can learn wrestling, but it's a rich history.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just just go to I don't know, like you had a WWE power plant or whatever, the fitness center, and and show someone a suplex, and just show them in that one building. They had to be in front of people, different people, many different people, to truly understand ring psychology and knowledge. And it kind of
in the different cities, like I can wrestle in Twitter, and this is a very heavily Memphis area. I can slap an armbar on or a fucking arm ringer on, and the place will be going crazy if I'm hot enough babyface. But
Right.
I'll go to fucking Philadelphia and I'll slap an armbar on, and then the crowd will just look at me and be like, "What? Where's your backflip at?" You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just different kind of styles out there that people aren't really getting the chance to work anymore because the crowds back in the territory days were fucking huge.
Yes, they were. You look at AWA with Vern Gagne and
Dude, even the UWF, right?
yeah, the early Crockett.
WCW before that, Crockett.
Yeah.
Fucking Gory Guerrero's promotion. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm just spitting out the names. Yeah.
No,
There's so many of them, dude.
There's a lot,
and all of them had their own niche.
Yeah.
You know, and well, that doesn't exist anymore.
No. So Vince has done this. I don't know. He's done so much as far as public awareness in a way, but at the same time, he's handled this business. Honestly, the worst I've ever seen anyone do in the long run. The Survivor Series is, as far as I'm concerned, part of the major pie for their product. And right now it's being given away for free because a network that is failing. It's like...
The network isn't free. It's $9.99.
Well, it might,
yeah.
It might as well be free, well, as far as he's concerned, because to Vince, he's losing so much money.
He is, but okay, just think about this, Nick. I mean, has anyone talked about... Okay, just be honest here. Like, a lot of people didn't really buy pay-per-views in the past couple of years anyways, okay?
Right.
Oh, of course. We all stream them.
Yeah, okay. But what the people that did buy them, that was a huge payoff for the main event guys. Now, if someone's getting, just paying $10 a month for a pay-per-view, how the fuck are you going to split that amongst your roster?
Right. Especially if you...
I mean, that's definitely a cutback in fucking money.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why I thought it was an important issue to bring up to you as an indie wrestler, how it affects your life, and now seeing it, how it's affecting all these A-list superstars, more or less. There's, to my understanding, Vince hasn't paid a single penny to anyone from last year's WrestleMania, or this year's WrestleMania, excuse me. But
Really?
yes, I think CM Punk also got shorted on his Royal Rumble paycheck, and that I think that was the catalyst for the arguments, and the walkout was money, and so now you have Survivor Series, which, like I mentioned before, was part of the major pie. It's getting circumcised this month, so Vince.
I mean, okay, here's one roundabout's way, Nick. I guess what Alan's trying to say, what I'm trying to say is, if you pay $9.99 for a pay-per-view, you're going to get $10 worth of entertainment. Does that make any sense? Hello?
I mean, the WWE Network is amazing for a wrestling fan.
Well,
This is like
sort of.
I've ever heard in my life. And since Vince McMahon went public with his company, he made a shit ton of money from that.
Yeah. Well, investors started pulling out, though, shortly after the beginning of the year because Royal Rumble did shit numbers. And then they started losing merchandise money because of the way they treated Daniel Bryan. And subsequently, also the way they treated Dolph Ziggler. And all these other up-and-coming, obviously should be in the top tier talent roster, got fucked over, more or less. And the Cena thing, and, I'm not taking anything away from Cena's work ethic, but I don't, even kids, as far as I know, are over it. I think that's why kids do well at these indie shows.
Buddy. I went to Night of Champions in Nashville, and Cena was over like a motherfucker.
See, I don't understand why. 11 years plus. See, a lot of people tend to compare, Hogan was never mixed until the final year. Like in '93, he left. But I've never seen a mixed reaction as...
And see, that's the draw of Cena. Because the thing is, Cena can work with anybody. He can work with, let's say, fucking, random motherfucker. On Truth. We're
Right.
going to have another little deal. That was fucking forever ago, but that's just what I thought about.
Right.
Cena comes out there, he wrestles this match. The crowd is chanting, "Let's go, Cena." Cena sucks. They're not chanting, "Fuck you, R-Truth. Let's go, R-Truth." Those
Right.
people pay their hard-earned money to go there and either say, "I love you, Cena," or "Fuck you, Cena."
Right.
And that's why they go there. There's people that don't like Cena, and that's the entire draw of that character, because there's nothing like it. And I think it's good for business to keep Cena around and keep him relevant.
Well, I can.
I'm not saying push him to the top of the card. But
No.
he needs to be in the mix. I feel like that, and I do think you need to start grooming for your next hit guy, because 12 years. I don't know how much Cena has it in the tank. You do need to start grooming for it. You need a couple top guys.
I know, yeah.
As far as I know, no one has the draw like Cena.
I disagree. I don't think he draws that much. Honestly, like the last 5 pay-per-views I've seen him, the boos were audible as fuck, and that's bad. Your top guy is not a tweener. Your tweener should be in the mid card because he's on his way up, not as on the way down. It's a good way to destroy careers.
Oh man, it done wonders for Bray Wyatt, didn't it?
It did nothing for Bray Wyatt, and it's not going to do nothing for Cena. After all this is said and done, what people got bummed out about is the Daniel Bryan situation, the Roman Reigns situation, and all this crap was a little underhanded, and it was a big fuck you to fans when the Royal Rumble happened and WrestleMania happened, and then he's out with a quote-unquote injury for 6 or so months, and so is Roman Reigns. I find that to be a little odd and a little obvious that there's some bullshit going on backstage. That's coming from a smart fan, people.
I don't know if we want to get into conspiracy theories or whatever.
It's not a conspiracy,
I'm pretty sure what they're doing is they're going to set up this Survivor Series thing, sort of as the big draw, and they're going to start working towards the Royal Rumble, where one of those two guys, which is probably going to be Roman Reigns,
Right.
is back.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
going to be the culmination of his little
Right.
run to the top. I think he'll win the Royal Rumble, and he'll go on and he'll beat Brock Lesnar. What I think.
That's actually what's going to happen. Probably.
Yeah, that's probably which is all right, I guess.
That's fine. It's
Can we
just
do some WrestleMania fantasy booking, like right now, WrestleMania 31 fantasy booking?
Yeah, we can do a brief. Yeah, we can do.
we came up with a theory. I want to say a month ago about what Vince was doing on the paychecks because he was holding on this money. Because from what I understand, the company is actually in big fucking trouble. It hasn't been brought up in the wrestling rags because they can't for obvious reasons, but from the stock report and the Forbes magazines, if Vince doesn't sell or at least offer to sell the company, he isn't going to be around. So he has to pull some shit together. I've been thinking that they're going to work a Hogan Stone Cold thing.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Would you put that on your fantasy book list? Because Hogan's been talking this shit, but I got one more match in me, man. What do you think?
Hogan?
Yeah,
Hogan Stone
weird.
Cold.
I know, right? It's weird, but that's the.
Hogan's my favorite wrestler of all time, and the crowd goes absolutely ballistic, and everyone has fun when Hogan's out there.
Right.
I think if Hogan needs to be in anything, it would be like a referee role.
Me too. That's what I'm thinking.
I think Hogan doesn't want to do ring work anymore. I think he's done. He's hurt. He seriously can't move.
I think the Hulkster wants to, but his body don't want him to.
Exactly. There you go. To put it, yeah, absolutely.